Welcome everyone. Today we'll be solving one problem on circular cone based on slant edge problem. So whenever there is a problem on slant edges, instead of giving the inclination with respect to HP, they give the slant edge condition. So in the third stage, we will be taking the inclination with respect to VP and do all the three stages as usual. Only the difference is, instead of inclination with respect to HP, we will be using the slant edge concept. So let us see what is the question is about. So it is a cone of 50 mm base diameter. So we have a cone whose base is of circular surface of 50 mm diameter and axis height is 60 mm. So from the apex to the bottom of the center, the height is equal to 60 mm. How it is resting? It is resting on HP on one of its generators. So you know that many generators will be passing through across the circumference of the circular base to the apex, because you know the cone is made by the revolution of the triangular surface about 360 degree, and hence many generators will be passing through across the circumference of the bottom surface. So it is resting on one of its generators on HP. In that condition, always we assume that the given cone is standing on HP, because one of the generator is resting on HP. If it has to rest on HP, you have to place the cone on HP. Okay, so this is how the initial position of the cone will be when it is resting on one of its generator. So once this assumption will be the thumb rule. When it is resting on one of its generator, you will keep the cone on HP plane, right? So once you fix the position of the cone on HP, then you will view how the top view looks like. So when you view from the top, you can see the circular surface, right? And also you can see the center O and O1 will be hidden, right? And hence we will divide the circle later to 8 or 12 equal parts. So this is about our top view. And then when you view from the front, you can see the projection of the cone to the vertical plane, just like a triangular surface, right? And here the axis cannot be seen because the axis will be replaced by one of the generator, and hence we show a continuous line instead of axis line in case of our front view. So let us start up with drawing the top view first and then go for the front view. So top view will be a circular base which provides a true shape of the base of the cone, and the front view will be an triangular surface, right? So now first we should draw XY line named VP and HP. Then we'll start up with the top view. So diameter of the base is 50 mm. So please measure 25 mm radius and just draw a circle. So I am drawing a circle roughly. You use compass, measure the radius of 25 mm and just draw a circle. So it will be knowing the center point through which you have cut the radius, right? So then you divide the given circle into 8 equal parts as we did in the previous problem. After that, I told you the top center O will be visible and O1 will not be visible. So you will write O outside the bracket and O1 within the bracket. Since I have divided the circle into 8 equal parts, we will be having the points on the circumference of the circle, 8 points. So we have to name all those: A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H. So after that we have to show how the front view looks like, right? For that we have to take the projections above from the circle. So please take the projection from point E. From D and F will be along same line, C and G will be along same line, B and H will be along same line, and A. So after taking the projection, now we have to extend above XY line. So here you can notice this is the axis line projection that is overlapped with one of the projection of the generator passing through circumference of the base circle, and hence we won't show the axis line, we will be showing a continuous line. right? So we just extend a continuous line of the generator instead of the axis. Then you measure what is the axis height. It is 60 mm. So use the compass, measure 60 mm exactly and cut an arc. So where it meets, that will be nothing but our O dash. So from O dash we kindly join through each and every points. So from O dash to this second, right? So after this, show the axis height, how much it is, 60 mm, please mention 60 mm, and show the diameter of the circle as how much it is, 50. So 50 is the diameter and axis height is 60 mm. So once you have done, kindly do the naming. So when the observer views from down, A will be visible. So you will write it as A dash. When the observer views from here, B and H is along the same line. B will be visible and H won't be visible. So you will write B dash outside the bracket and H dash within the bracket. So when the observer views from here, C will be visible and G won't be visible. So you will write C dash outside the bracket and G dash within the bracket. And similarly when the observer views from here, D will be visible and F won't be visible. So we will write D dash outside the bracket and F dash within the bracket. And later E will be visible when he views from here and hence E dash will be visible. Apart from that, we have center O1. So when the observer views from here, O1 will not be visible, it will be hidden. So write O1 dash within the bracket. So this is the first stage, front and the top view of the cone when one of the generator is resting on HP. So what is the second stage now? Usually in the second stage we used to get the inclination with respect to HP. But now they have told it is resting on one of its generators. So you will be having n number of generators. So you have to select which generator you are fixing, right? So if I consider O dash and E dash to be on XY line, this is the generator, right? So one of the generator we have to rest on HP, means one of the generator should come on XY line. So for that what we do is, you can either select this generator or this one. So I am taking this one for time being. I leave some space and just fix a point and name that as E dash, because I am taking E dash and O dash as the generator which will be on HP, means resting on HP means it will be on XY plane. So after that I will measure from E dash to O dash what is the distance. Come here and just mark a reference point. So this is the distance from E dash to O dash. So then you will name this as O dash. Then you need to now measure the other side of the generator, which is from O dash to A dash. So measure from O dash to A dash how much it is. Using the compass, come here and just cut an arc. Okay. So this is the distance from O dash to A dash. O dash to A dash and cut an arc. And again come back and measure the distance from A dash to E dash. What is it? Come here and just cut an arc. So where it meets will be our A dash. So after that you kindly join A dash to O dash, A dash to E dash. So once it is done, now you identify the midpoints which are there on our baseline. So from A dash to B dash, what is the distance it is you measure and just make a reference point. Similarly from E dash to D dash, what is the distance you measure, make a reference point. From there, B dash to C dash, what is the distance you measure and just cut an arc, right? So this E dash you can write a little bit down here. So you will be having space to write D dash and F dash. Similarly, this is C dash and G dash. Along with that, we have O1 dash also. Then we have B dash and H dash. So write it as B dash and H dash. After this, now we have to join to the apex. So please join. So this is the center line, but it is not visible, right? Center line will not be visible over here. So kindly join Okay. So we have just shifted the front view which was in vertical position with axis vertical now to inclined position such that it is satisfying that one of the generator is on HP, means it is on XY plane. So once this is over, so now we should see how the top view looks like when one of the slant edge is on HP plane. So for that we need to take the projection from each and every point without fail. So please take the projection from each and every point from the base as well as from the apex, and then extend the projection from our top view also. From G, H and F will be along same line, A and E will be along same line, B and D will be along same line, and C will be along the same line. So after this you can just erase the extra lines of projection so that you won't be having any confusion. So once this is done, start reading the locus. So locus of A, okay, so this is the locus of A dash is here, so this is our A. The locus of E dash is here, so this is our E. So locus of B dash is here, so this is our B. And locus of D dash is here, so this is our D. Locus of C dash is here, so this is our C. And locus of H dash is here, so this is our H. Locus of F and F dash is at this point, so this is our F. Locus of G and G dash is meeting here, so this is our G. Locus of O1 is meeting O1 dash at this point, so this is our O1. Locus of O is meeting O dash at this point, so this is our O. Right? So now we have traced out each and every point of the cone. How does it look when one of the slant edges is on HP? Right? So after that I told you, irrespective of the position, always the outer boundary will be visible. So we join the outer boundary from E to D, D to C, E to F, F to G, G to O, and O to C. And here even the other part of the circular base will be visible because you are not having any corner on XY plane in inclined position. So you will show this part also as visible line. And we have the axis line from O1 to O. It is passing through inside the surface. So this part you can just show as the axis line. Okay, so you can just change this to axis. So this is how the second stage of the front and the top view looks like. And next, what is the last part? They have given the inclination of axis with respect to VP. It is directly inclined, and hence we need to determine the apparent angle here. So what is being told? Draw the projection when the axis is inclined to VP. So it is directly inclined to VP. So we have to take 30 degree to VP. So I will take 30 degree to VP first. Measure 30 degree. Leave some space and first fix the point O. I will fix the point O. So whenever the axis is inclined to VP, you will get the true length only in the first stage. In the second stage, you will be having the apparent length. So first, it's our duty to determine the apparent angle and then shift the top view second stage to the third stage. So for that, what we do is first you measure the true length from the front view of the first stage. Measure the true length. Come here and just cut an arc. So this is our O1. So from O1 you will draw the locus. After that you will come to the second stage. You will measure the apparent length of the top view from the second stage. Come back, go to the same fixed point and cut an arc. It will meet somewhere on the locus of O1. So kindly join properly. Okay, so this is our new O1 and extend that to our xy plane. So this angle will be our beta. Okay, so please draw the box and show what is the angle beta you are getting. So once the beta angle inclination calculation is over, so now we need to reconstruct the top view for beta inclination of the axis. So we have from here to here. So let us extend on the other way so that we will get the entire line from E to O. So for that, I will extend this axis, apparent length axis line little bit back side. I will measure from O to E what is the distance and I will just cut an arc. So I got the point E. And then I will measure from O1 to A what is the distance and cut an arc. So I will get the point A. Then I can notice from O, if you draw a perpendicular line, I can identify these two generators G and C. So I will draw a perpendicular line through O1 and I measure from O1 to G what is the distance is. I'll cut an arc. Similarly, I measure from O1 to C what is the distance is and I'll cut an arc. Both will be same. And then I have two more points here, F and D coming along the same line. For that I should know this midpoint. So I'll identify from E to this midpoint what is the distance is and I will just make a reference point. From that again I will draw perpendicular line. So from the midpoint I will measure what is the distance F. I will come back here and cut an arc. Similarly from the midpoint to D I will see what is the distance is. I will come back over here and I will cut an arc. After that I will see what is the distance from A to this midpoint. Okay, so I will come here and just make a reference point. From here also I will draw a perpendicular line. So from the midpoint I will measure what is the distance to H, come over here and cut an arc. And again from the midpoint to B what is the distance I will measure and I will cut an arc. So I will get the point H and B. So this is G and C. So this is F and D. We got the bottom base circle of the cone and apex O is fixed already. So now we will just join the same replica of it. So you will just join A to B using freehand, B to C, C to D, D to E, F to E, G to F, G to H and H to A. So the base circle is drawn. You still please draw it using freehand properly. It looks like an ellipse. And from there join to the apex from both the corner generators. Okay. So this is how. And here you can just show the axis line. So we have shown a continuous line. Just make this as axis line pattern. Show the dot. So this will be the axis line. So once the top view is done for the last stage, we have to take the projections above to see how the final view looks. So take the projection from G. Take the projection from G, take the projection from F, take the projection from E, take the projection from H, take the projection from O1, take the projection from B, take the projection from A, take the projection from B and also take the projection from C and O. So once you take the projection from each and every point, it's from the top view. We also have to take the projection from the front view. So please extend the projection from each point in the front view. So after that, kindly erase the extra line. So now you can start reading the locus. So the locus of G is meeting G dash. So this is the locus of G is meeting G dash at this point. So this is our G dash. And locus of F is meeting F dash at this point, so this is our F dash. Locus of E is meeting E dash at this point, so this is our E dash. So this is locus of D is meeting D dash at this point, so this is our D dash. So locus of C is meeting C dash at this point, so this is our C dash. And then locus of B is meeting B dash at this point, so this is our B dash. So locus of A is meeting A dash at this point, so this is our A dash. And locus of H is meeting H dash at this point, so this is our H dash. So this is the base circle. And after that, identify the center. So locus of O1 is meeting O1 dash at this point, so this is our O1 dash. And the locus of O is meeting O1, O dash at this point, so this is our O dash. So draw the base circle first, it will be visible. So join from G dash to F dash, F dash to E dash, E dash to D dash, D dash to C dash, G dash to H dash, H dash to A dash to B dash, B dash to C dash. After that, kindly join from E dash to O dash and also from A dash to O dash. So this is how the final cone looks like in the front view of the third stage. So we have to join the center axis here. So please show the center axis. So this is how you have to solve the problem on slant edges related to the given circular cone in such a way that it is resting on one of its generator on HP. So whenever it is resting on one of its generator on HP, we assume that the given cone is on HP plane, is standing on the horizontal plane. Thank you.